Hi everyone. In today's video, we're going to be talking about our new AI performance suite within Click Insights. To jump straight into this, we're going to talk about our SERP features first. So if you navigate to SERP features within Click Insights, within your dashboard, you'll be presented with this table. And essentially, this table is showing you all your SERP features split by month since, for this example, since April over to November of 2025. What we saw is that from kind of June onwards, AIO views basically went crazy for this particular domain, and it gathered momentum. So in June was 100, so 108. In May was 35. July we had 219. August 246. September we had 286, and in November we had 302 keywords that were ranking in views. This is a cumulative view, this is a monthly view of the data. So essentially, if we're scanning daily or weekly, it will start to add up all unique keywords that you're ranking for within AIO views in this example, and essentially it will add that together. It will give you a kind of monthly view. So basically, if you're looking at December, let's say, you've only probably had 1 or 2 scans potentially throughout time. So the numbers will look a lot different. So looking at a monthly view is a better view to look at because it's kind of cumulative. Okay. Kind of scrolling down, you can select which SERP feature you're most interested in analyzing. In this case, we're interested in AIO views. So let's look at this table in terms of the data. So we have the keywords here, which is listed here, the organic URL, the tags listed below. Anyone who's been viewing my videos, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of tagging and kind of organization of your keywords, your organic rank, your AIO view rank, your AIO view URL. If you've got AR mod selected for a keyword, the trend of that keyword organically, and all the SERP feature as well. And the symbol we're looking for is this kind of star, which is that AIO view. And last, we've also got the search volume as well. Now, what's really important here and something we've added in is the fact that the organic URL and the AIO view URL may be different. Okay, in AIO views, they're essentially showing they favor the informational landing page versus a service landing page. Not always, but from what I'm seeing, they do favor more of the informational. Also, we have the organic rank and the AIO view rank. So if you rank organic number 1, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to rank in the AIO views in position 1 either. For this particular keyword, position 1 for organic and position 4 for AIO views. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, example of different landing pages. This particular keyword, best SEO reseller company. We've got a best reseller SEO companies landing page, and then for position 1 in organic, we also rank AIO views in position 1 also. However, the landing page is a best SEO companies for startups landing page. So as I said before, the URLs for organic and also for AIO views may not be the same. So it's useful to have that information. Like with everything within Click Insights, you can export the data into a CSV for additional analysis. If you had additional locations, you can click on here. You could essentially select the different search and different location depending on what you've got set up. Okay, moving on. So we're now moving on to what we call track competitors. I'm tracking a couple of competitors here at the moment for my keywords. I'm interested here to see, okay, how do I rank organically and also AIO views versus my kind of key competitors. If you had AI mod as well selected for that particular campaign, you can also select AI mod for this particular example win AIO views. So again, we've got the keyword, we've got the tags, the search volume, and essentially we've got our domain here versus the competitors that I'm tracking and following. We can see here in this example, position 1 for that particular keyword, and then we're position 6 for AIO views. We scroll down here for this keyword here, example, backlink service, 720 searches a month. We rank number 1 organically for that term. We're in position 7 for AIO views, and this particular Bulldog Digital Media is position 21 organically and position 4 in AIO views. What we're seeing is it's not impossible to rank on page 1 in AIO views, within AIO views, if you're not at page 1 of Google. It does help though For sure, if you're ranking organically, you have a good chance ranking organically within AIO Visibility also. But as we see here, this example, best SEO research company, who's this ClickSlice, position 25 organically, AIO Overview position 6. Okay. Again, this one, best Shopify SEO company, they rank organically 17th, but they're in position 8 for overviews. Moving on to our next kind of tool set. So this kind of deals with our competitors. If you want to change your competitors, you can click on there and play around with that. But let's move on to what we call our AIO opportunities. This is still within our AI performance suite. And essentially, this is starting to help us. It's a bit of a research tool, essentially. It's starting to help us look at opportunities within AI overviews. Now, one of the issues I've been finding is, okay, we can easily find out what keywords are ranking for within AI overviews. That's straightforward. What happens if you want to increase the amount of keywords you rank for within AI overviews? What happens if you want to write additional content that Google can pick up within AI overviews? Where would you start? You'd have to basically go onto SERP and start copying and pasting all the competitor data, what content they've got, huge amount of work. So essentially, we built our kind of our research tool called AIO Opportunities. And what this kind of tells us is, over the course of time, depending on the date set, the date picker we selected, we're currently ranking for 303 keywords in AI overviews. Unranked keywords is basically where we might be ranking for that keyword organically, but AI overview is not available for that key term at the point that we scanned up. Okay. And opportunities means we might rank organically, but the AI overview is available, but we're not visible in the AI overview itself. Okay, so the opportunities is what we're interested in. We scroll down here, we've got the opportunity. Okay, kind of selected, and we see all these keywords. Essentially, we might be ranking for them. So we rank organically for this keyword here in position 29. Search for 170 keywords. It's an opportunity, so it is an AI overview there at the moment, but we're not ranking for it. We click on this keyword here. What will happen is some data will drop down, and we'll be able to see the SERP essentially. Perfect. This is the AI overview SERP, so we can start to see which content Google is starting to show, but also as you go through the data, you'll see essentially there's a pattern. Essentially, listicles, FAQ sections, article, blog content are more favored than maybe a service landing page, depending on what key term it is. Okay. So then you can start to build up a strategy to say, okay, these are the 50 keywords we need to rank for. We need to build 5 pieces of content. Okay. So for this particular keyword here, we can see that this looks like a service page. They all look like a service page, apart from this is a blog post, and that's also a service page. Again, depending on what key term will depend maybe what kind of piece of content you want to rank, you want to create. And underneath, we got all SERPs. Basically, this means our organic listings are below as well, so you can see how you stack up. All right. And then below there, you've got your rest of your data. So this is really, really powerful, good research tool, saves lots of time, gives you insights what Google's kind of favoring in terms of kind of content types. Okay, perfect. Let's move on to the next tool here, which is basically still within our AI performance section of Click Insights. And this is our LLM AI prompt visibility tool. Now, how this kind of works is where you'd actually click on generate prompt. You'd put a keyword or maybe a sentence within a prompt. It will then generate some prompts for you. So this is already, I would have put in UK blogger outreach, maybe agency or agencies into the keyword. It then basically creates me 5 prompts that would essentially come back to us as a result in terms of a list of companies. And then from there, we can see what's our visibility, our share of voice, kind of how we stack up. Do we need to make some adjustments to make sure we rank higher, or maybe don't rank at all, potentially? So we click on, to access this, we go to AI performance, then all prompts, okay? And this page will be presented. Really important to build out your brand profile. So you can manage brand profile. You've only got to do this once. What I would say is we also built a add brand variant. So this is our kind of our core business name, but we found out that, for instance, working with one of our customers, their software company, they had a main software brand, and then they had underneath they had basically their sub brands or sub products underneath, which was also coming up with prompts and visibility. So we added in the brand variations, which literally gives you brand, essentially what are the names that you come under that people might want to know you for, what what you're famous for, essentially. So you can put in the brand variant and kind of say their competitors as well. So although we basically bring up everyone that we find within ChatGPT, Perplexity, Grok, and so on and so forth, you may want to highlight your top competitors. How do they stack up versus you? Again, you can basically put their main brand and then a kind of brand variants, who kind of what's their famous names essentially, and then save. So once that's set up, it is done and forget essentially, unless you want to add more competitors as you go along, which you can do as also. So once that's all set up, you got your prompts, it'll start then to basically go and get your data. Okay, it'll take between 5 and 10 minutes to do that. Essentially, we've got to go to each of the LLMs and basically we bring back the results and then present that information to you along with your overall kind of visibility score, share voice, so on and so forth. So this is a report that I did a couple of days ago. So essentially, it's telling me the best performing engine for this particular prompt. In this example, it's Grok. Our brand's average visibility score, so 84.8, higher the better, essentially. Average rank 2.92. Again, you want to be high as possible or lowest possible in this case. So 1 being the highest, 10 being obviously not as good. And then essentially, if you want to go visit the data within this prompt, you then click on the eyelid. So I'm going to click on that. Perfect. So we've also already talked about visibility score, presence score, so how often you're seen across all the LLMs, best performing engine for click intelligence, and then the number of kind of mentions. We scroll down in terms of the data. We can see here kind of 84 kind of mentions. So more mentions are better, and essentially you have more chance to rank a lot better. So we've got this, in this case, we've got 84 mentions. The competitor I've kind of listed in this example, we had 42 mentions, for instance. The generative engines that we're coming up on, we're not coming up on Grok. Looks like not many people are. Average rank is 4 for overall for all the LLMs for this prompt. Number of times when we're position 1, 17, and basically your share of voice, which is here also. What's really cool, also, you can start to see your sources, and this is really useful. Okay, so when you're starting to build out your kind of outreach plan for kind of listicle outreach to make sure you're listed on people's websites, this is a great kind of starting point to basically do some prompts, kind of see where you rank, see where everyone's getting there, being listed, and where you're not being listed. And essentially from there, you then have an outreach list to go out and start to speak to those webmasters and website owners, see if you can get listed on those websites also. So essentially, if you click on view sources, this is only for this particular prompt, for our own brand. You can see that these are the kind of listicles and brand mentions that we've already been able to acquire for ourselves. What you'll see is some of these are essentially self-referencing, which is perfectly fine. Basically, ChatGPT and Gemini basically self-reference. So if you're talking about you have your own kind of listicle where you list yourself, then that'll be picked up as well. Let's move on to the overall kind of, I guess, kind of league table. So all the prompts. So this is called all brands. So how do you stack up across all your prompts versus your key competition? How many sources you've got, how many times you mentioned, that sort of stuff. So basically, it's very similar to the prompt dashboard for sort of a single prompt, but all the prompts put together is in terms of how you look in terms of all brands. Similar to, as I say, similar to the kind of prompt dashboard, we got your brand, your mentions, your generative engines, your average rank, how many times you rank number 1, you kind of share voice, and then basically your kind of sources. And then if we move down to here, this is where all the sources on all the prompts are being essentially saved for you. And then you can basically export sources, and you've got a huge list of list calls that you could essentially go to Outreach and see you can get listed. So this is a really good source of research. So this kind of makes up one of our kind of research features of Click Insights. So that kind of deals with kind of LMMs. Essentially, over the course of time, you want to be scanning and improving your overall visibility. This is a great tool for that. If we move over to our kind of last kind of piece of our kind of jigsaw in terms of AI performance, something I kind of mentioned before in another video when I went into a bit more depth into our GA4 and Google Search Console suite. But essentially within our AI suite, also we want to talk about what traffic you're essentially getting from referral based from ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and other LLMs also. So you would go basically within the AI performance, you would go into AI and LLM, GA4. As before, you can pick your dates, you can compare and contrast. You got your line graph, you can click on and click off which LLMs you're interested in seeing. Then also you can see overall how many sessions you're getting, total users, new users, page views, engagement rate, so on and so forth. Down here, look at your device, your air traffic distribution, your new and returning users. And then scrolling down here also, then you can start to see essentially the LMM split by sessions, engagement time. For us, for this particular domain, ChatGPT is the clear winner for us. Then the last piece of data we can look at also is our top landing pages from the LLMs. So what pages are being shown within the LLMs and referring traffic to our website. In this case, it's our main kind of insights page. You're also able to select which conversions that you can see. So if you're looking at kind of revenue, you're looking at amount of time someone has hit the contact form or download a PDF or requested a demo, any conversion that is already in GA4 will be synced up into Click Insights, and essentially the data then is presented within this kind of table. So I hope that's all really kind of useful. The AI performance suite is really, the performance is really good. Essentially, you can use it for research, reporting, visibility, and overall improving your performance within AI. So I hope that's really useful to you, and I'll catch you on the next video.